Okay.
Guys, you may or may not already know this, but I have owned this 3800 Supercharged E85 injected Pontiac Fiero for well over a decade now. It has been one heck of a fun, never-ending, always evolving project car. But perhaps no part of the car has seen more change than the engine bay, which once used to house a 2.5 liter 92 horsepower four-cylinder, dropped in favor of this 3.8 liter, putting out somewhere in the neighborhood of 380 horsepower. But the sad, harsh truth of the matter is, it hasn't been driven on the street in well over a year. So with the crazy and ridiculous used car prices of the current market that we find ourselves in, and the Fiero just sitting here gathering dust, I have had to make the incredibly easy decision of taking this for sale sign and putting it where it belongs, right in the garbage can. So what's next? Well, right now she's a dirty girl, so let's treat her to a bubble bath, and then we're gonna treat her to a little alcohol. Woo! 85 alcohol, that is. Now I feel like she's much more presentable. Make no mistake, she's still a 30-footer, but more presentable nonetheless. Even though the Fiero hasn't been on the road in over a year, she still is loved. And this past winter, I took the opportunity to knock a few things off the Fiero to-do list. I cleaned up the Fiero's wiring harness, and wiring is always fun. A lot of unnecessary wires were removed, and parts of the harness were shortened so they could have a more efficient and direct path between the computer and the components. Most of the work I did is fairly subtle, but to me, it cleans things up quite a bit. Here's a view of the before, and of course, the after. Next, I redid the cold air intake out with the old parts. Here are the new parts, and here's the before and after. Finally, I cleaned up the driver's side engine bay. The main goals were to remove an unsightly 1984 factory Fiero bracket, fill in an unsightly hole, and of course, a fresh coat of paint. You may have noticed I've got the stock 14-inch rims on at the moment, along with the Mickey Thompson drag radials, and they're on here for a reason. Part of the work I did this winter, I had to remove the suspension. So now, of course, I've got to readjust the alignment. The stock rims have this nice machine flat area here, which works really well for mounting this laser level accurately so I can adjust the toe and the camber. And while I was at it, I picked out these two beauties right here, which are the baldest two tires that I have. And I'm going to mount them on the back. And there's only one reason that I would do that. Now let's go get some E85. Guys, every time I get a batch of E85 from the gas station, I always get a little extra sample so I can test it when I get back. And when I tested this, it came out at around E63, which means Minnesota's probably still in their spring blend, haven't switched to summer yet. So it's going to need a custom tune, but that's not a problem because this sort of thing happens every spring and fall in Minnesota. And I'll install a custom tune right now for E63. Guys, I've got to tell you, it's been a blast having the Supercharged 3800 Fiero back on the road. And in the coming weeks, I'll be putting out additional Fiero content, including hopefully the first ever race against this guy right here. Guys, that's going to do it for this one. Please remember to hit that share, like, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.